Right. Hey, if you haven't been to the channel, I just talk about things that I'm thinking about that I think are important to me at the time that I don't necessarily have anybody to talk to about, or that I just think is good to document, you know? So if you like it, good. If you don't, see you later, right? Coaches and mentors, like how important they actually are. And like the farther I get in life and I evaluate the last, let's say like 10 years of my life, how much I wish I had better mentors, even like growing up. Like if I had somebody really there to coach me and dig into why I'm behaving the way that I am and how I can improve without just, you know, coming down on me or me getting the bad end of it by other people coming at me, not liking who I am, because like I've never had anybody to like sit down and work this out, right? And I'm not saying that people don't go through really hard times, you know, and learn things the hard way. Like I'm not saying that shouldn't happen, but what I am saying is there's definitely some times in my life where I could have got along a whole lot better if I actually had somebody that was mildly empathetic and really gave a damn about what was going on inside of me, right? So they could help me, right? Because like one of the reasons I'm thinking about this is because somehow over the last couple of years, I think it's really been brought to my attention my ability to have empathy. And I don't mean empathy in the means of like, oh, I feel bad for this person, I'm sad too, but like I can, and maybe like there's a different word for it, but like I can really tell when somebody's going through something, right? So like there's this person in my life right now who bothers the ever living crap out of me, and I'll use they so you don't have any indication of who I'm talking to, right, or talking about. And they are super internal in everything they do. Like their entire approach on life is focused on themselves. And it's not, I don't think it's because that person's selfish. I think it's just who they are. And so like to me, it really bothers me and it's hard for me to work through, because when I interact with that person, it seems like they just don't give two craps about me at all, you know? And then I started thinking like, it's like, I get that, you know, but like, it's like, how can I put that aside and just understand that's who they are and not take it personally? Like there's some things that I should take personally, right? Like there are some things that realistically I want to pop them in the mouth for, right? But then I have to think about myself. Like, so when I went through the bulk of all those mental health issues I had, I realized in this last week that it was so hard for me to care or even think about anybody else, literally anybody else. Like, because it's not that I don't care about that person, it's that I'm so focused internally on managing myself so I don't go off the wall and trying to help myself and get my life on track. It's like, I don't care what you got going on over there. I have to figure what I have going on over here out, because otherwise I'm going to lose my mind. And it's not me trying to like be the worst human being, but now that my mental health is, you know, 99% under control and like I'm good, I'm, you know, chill. Now that I had that, I'm starting to have that same type of empathy towards other people. And I'm like, man, maybe they're going through something. So like one of these coaches I work with, there's something that happened, right? And I could sense that day that he walked in and he was like off. Like I got that, you know? I found out there was something going on, you know, but it's like, before I wouldn't blink twice, but I'm like, man, I actually really like, I feel for this person. Like I don't feel bad for him, like, you know, boo-hoo, like, you know, bad things happen to people, but I actually like really understand that. And so I've started thinking about people who are like really socially awkward too. And I'm like, there's something that happened in their life that made them the way that they are, be it their own decisions or, more importantly, I think, the lack of having somebody else there to help develop them. So I think about these people and like all these people that make me so mad. I'm like, man, there's gotta be a reason they are the way they are. So like, here's a really good way to think about it. So like my stepmom's a massage therapist. She told me once, she said she had this person come in. She didn't give me too many details, but she said this person came in and was just in chronic pain all the time. And this person was really, really freaking angry and just nasty, like a nasty person. And then my stepmom worked on this person and their pain like went away and her entire personality changed. Like they were just, oh, I guess I already said she was just the happiest, like nicest person And all because she was just in pain all the time, right? And I talked about that with like pain in people. Like sometimes pain can make people like really different. And I'll talk about that in another video someday. But so I don't know, man. That's just kind of the thing I'm thinking about, right? So like there's this one guy, like he's kind of I don't want to say dumb, but like he's definitely like not the sharpest tack in the box, right? Ooh, that was good. Look at deer. Anyways, man, like sometimes he responds to me like he's like condescendingly, like I'm stupid for like it cut my video off. So he talks to me like I'm stupid, like, or condescendingly for like asking a question or bringing something up or whatever. And I'm like, it's either because he's genuinely just disrespectful and that's a problem, or like that's just how he is and like he doesn't even realize it, right? And so like thinking about how I was and how I just wanted somebody to like, I really needed somebody to help me and dig into why I was doing things the way that I was and what was really going on, and like who could really see through the crap. Those people are so freaking important. Like my time in the Marine Corps went to crap when all the people who really held me accountable just disappeared, and then it was back to me again, right? So like that's one of the whole reasons I joined the Marine Corps. Is like, man, I need some people to help me, like some mentors, some leaders in my life. And I got that when I got there and I got to the fleet, right? And then a year or two later, I'm in the fleet and like everybody's gone because people get sent to other units or they get out, right? And I'm like, dude, where the heck? Like they're all gone. I ain't got nobody. It's just me, and I'm having to do the same thing for everybody else, So it's like sometimes people need a lot of coaching and mentoring before they can be that to somebody else. So it's like I can't really expect other people to be at that same place of we'll say just like social competency, or I guess that's the word, like social competency, your ability to be freaking like reasonable in society, right? But man, I was at a Perform Better summit in like, I don't know, 2013 in Seattle. And, Martin Rooney was there, a great coach, motivates a lot of people. Some people don't like him, but whatever, that's their business, not mine, right? Anyways, he said something to me, or he said something to everybody once. And he said, like there was this big shooting that had went on recently. And he talks about the shooting. He goes, do you think that guy that shot all those people had a good coach in their life? Like, do you think they had a mentor? And I'm like, no, they probably didn't. Now that I think about that, it's like, how impactful can a good coach, and I'm not just talking about what I do with like strength conditioning, personal training, but I mean just like being a friend to somebody, how impactful can that be, man? I've got a couple friends right now that like I'm mostly like talk to and maintain relationship with. I mean, I got a lot of reasons, but one of them is because like, man, these people really need help. Like they ain't got nobody. So it's like, why can't I do that? Why can't I, be useful and helpful to them and not expect anything in return? And I don't know, man. I think also internally, like I'm super frustrated because I felt like for so many years, everybody was just attacking me for being who I was. And it's like, I didn't know any better because I never really had anybody to like sit down and talk through, like I've got a pastor right now that I can do that with, and he's super helpful. But he's getting super busy because he took on a new role and everything. So like that's going out, and like I had maybe like one or two other people over the years that could really see into me and see through all that and like dig in and be like, why am I the way that I am, And I think that's one of the reasons my wife and I kind of butt heads all the time, is because I think I am that for her. She might disagree, but like, you always see things about other people that they might not see about themselves. So like I can say something to her and really get down deep, and it causes a lot of frustration because it's like, man, I got some walls up, not bashing my wife or anything. I love her to death. But like, when you do that with people, like they can put some walls up and they can, but the point of today is that I think people really need coaches, like so bad. Like here's a good example I was going to say, right? So like, and I'll talk about this when I'm talking about the Marine Corps in one video, right? But I had this Marine when I was in, and he was supposed to be getting ready for a run, meaning he was going to take a truck out and like go on a mission or whatever. And he was he's supposed to be doing his pre-trip inspections of his truck and getting it set up and getting everything ready, and he's sitting there talking on the phone for like an hour, right? So I come in there, I'm like, man, what are you doing? Why are you on the phone? You should be prepping your truck or whatever. He's like, man, I got these problems at home, like my mom's in the hospital. I'm like, You know, who did you tell? Whatever, get out there, do on your truck. You know, it's like, and I said, if you tell somebody, we'll help you or whatever, you know, but, and I think somewhere along the lines I said, man, I don't care about that. Like, get out there and do your job, right? Because what should have happened is he should have said, hey, I've got these issues at home. I have an opportunity to talk to my mom right now. Do you have a problem with me doing this right now? And I would have said, probably, I mean, if I know myself like back then as well as I think I did, probably said, yeah, man, hey, I'll take care of this for you. You go do that, right? Like, that's what a good leader would have done. And that's what he should have done, right? But I think because of like his upbringing, he took that as I said, F your mom. That's how he took it. I know for a fact I didn't say that because I wouldn't say that, but that's exactly how he took it. And I'm like, I didn't say that, but maybe me saying I don't care about that, just those words, that's what that means to him. It means, hey, this guy doesn't care about my mom. He said F my mom, and like he's ready to fight me. You know what I mean? It's like, so who's really to blame? It was me. Like, I was the problem. If I was a good leader or like a good coach or mentor or just a guy that like was able to see into that and not take everything personally, I should have been able to see that and then like, you know, but that's hard, you know. So I think you really got to care about people frequently and all the time, and eventually people like open up, right? It's like I got these new athletes that I'm working with, you know. It's gonna take some time for some of the athletes to realize that, you know, I'm there on their side. Like I don't get anything out of it besides experience and like hoping that they do a good job, but like I don't want anything from them. But a lot of people have barriers up and hesitancies, you know, and they gotta somebody somewhere has to get those to come down so people can talk. Because if people don't talk about things, they bundle it up, man, and they lash out in all kinds of bad ways. You know, some people get violent, some people say hurtful things, some people just like slowly kill themselves on the inside, and some people have really odd behaviors. Like they just become these super odd people that start to like step away from whatever's normal and good, right? And I don't mean normal as in like somebody else gets to define what normal is, but like there are things that are obviously normal and good, and obviously things that are not normal, and they step away from these things and they latch onto these things that really aren't helping them because they didn't have a way to process it. And that's how their brain decided to process these things, is by changing their personality as a whole, right? Like I've been that way before. Like I have been going through such a hard time for whatever reason that I felt myself deep in my brain rationalizing going insane. There was a moment in time where my brain was like, it was a long time ago, right? My brain was like, just go insane, be crazy, and just lose it and then forget about it. Just detach from everything, and then you don't have to worry about it anymore. Like my brain was like, you could literally just not care and like it be clinically like insane. Like it's so odd that my brain would rationalize that as like a way out. But when people don't have a way to get these things out, it's very hard for them to process them, especially if people think that they have to process these things by themselves. Like you don't have to do these things by yourselves. Like just because 90% of the people around you don't give two craps, right? Have some grace for other people and realize they're messed up too. And, you know, try and find the 10% that do care, you know, and caring doesn't always look the same, right? Like I might not care for my wife in exactly the way that she would prefer I do, but it doesn't mean that I'm like not cared about her, you know what I mean? And I think the people that like do really have their own interest in mind, like will make themselves known. Like it's not hard to tell, I think, if you actually pay attention. But you got to pay attention to other people, because if you spend your entire life only paying attention to yourself, then what really did you do while you were here? You know what I mean?